I can't see the comments from here, so I'm going to jump on here. Okay, so now I'm gonna give people a minute to hop on. I wasn't planning on going live, but I'm definitely not gonna get a video out today, so I figured I would just go live for a minute and hang out with some people if anyone decides to hop on. Mohammed, hey. Hey Jennifer. Hey Brazos Valley Soap. I got this really cool water bottle. You're supposed to drink that amount by that time, and you know what? I'm not doing so hot today. I'm doing fine with the gas apocalypse because I haven't been driving anywhere. Brazos Valley said, how are the repairs going? They're going. It's still not fixed yet. My brother is actually going out of town on the 19th, which means that if we don't get it fixed before then, well, actually, you know what? No matter what, if the bus, even if it does get fixed before I plan on going to Texas, I'm going to be flying still. I'm not going to take the bus just because I was planning on like getting so far along and being able to move in while I'm renovating it. And I'm just not, that's just not going to happen as soon as I thought. So I'll still be flying. But it may or may not be fixed before my brother leaves. Someone actually commented on one of the videos and told me about a mechanic in the area, and he said he's used him for several things over the years, and he's actually really, really close. So if I go to a mechanic, I'm probably going to go to that one because he may even, so it's fairly close that they may even come here and look at the bus, so I don't have to drive it. Pickles said, did you try and get a hold of a vice grip garage? I haven't contacted any. I've contacted one. It was a bus repair place about 30-40 minutes from here, but they haven't responded back to me. So, I mean, I'll probably, if I do take it to a mechanic, go to the one that's down the street. Definitely still don't have any idea what's going on. Yesterday, I cranked it up to see, just to see what would happen. And it's still doing the same thing. It'll start and it'll run. And I even changed gears and I put it in drive. And with my foot on the brake, I accelerated and it would still, even in drive, it would still die. So there's that. I also found a video of Jax Austin, who has a very similar, who used to, I guess, this video was from like 4 years ago, I think. But he had a similar bus that was doing essentially the same thing, and he said his alternator wasn't giving enough, whatever, that's how much I know. But he said, it wasn't giving enough voltage, so it kept dying. So he got a high voltage alternator. And it worked as far as I know. I didn't go back and check for any updates, but that's what he did in his video to fix it. Did you pick up an OBD2 sensor code reading? I haven't picked up anything else. I basically drained what I had left as far as money to put into the engine. So I get paid in about a week, and then I'll take it from there as far as getting more stuff for the bus. I may try and take it to O'Reilly's and have them test it to see like what the scan says, but I haven't done anything else to it. Road Trip Buddy did a $5 super chat. You are one honest, hardworking woman. Wishing you nothing but success and good travels. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. It's going to go right back into the bus. A lot of people did say a vacuum leak, which my brother said he doesn't think that it sounds like a vacuum leak. We are hoping it's not the fuel pump, because that's definitely going to be a hassle to get to. I've watched a few videos of people changing fuel pumps, and it definitely doesn't look very fun. Two old people on a couch said we have one of those readers. It's really helpful. Let me go back and screenshot that so I'll remember what it is. I've just been screenshotting comments and stuff so I don't have to write it down. It seems fuel starved. Yeah, I don't know. A few people also said like you should take it out and actually drive it and get up to at least 45-50 miles per hour, and I don't feel comfortable driving it with it being like this, so maybe I was gonna talk to my brother and see if like he could take it and drive it on the street. So we'll see. I still don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna be too stressed out about the engine. Like I said, no matter what, it's gonna get fixed, and I still have plenty to do on the interior, like on the build itself anyways. Yesterday I finally took off the stickers that said school bus on the back and on the front. And then I'm getting ready. I sanded the roof a little bit, and I need to continue to sand it and clean it so I can get that ready for paint. Two people on a couch did a $25 super chat to help with repairs. Wish it was more. Thank you so much. That in itself helps more than you know. Melody Clark said, no, not without someone following you. Yeah, I mean, my brother would definitely follow me, but I would just rather him drive. I already kind of have anxiety when it comes to driving. That's why I don't like cities. Like, that's why I prefer the country, because I don't like driving in the city. And this is definitely not technically the city, it's the suburbs, but still, it's very busy and uppity, like the city is. Charles said, and that getting it up to speed comment is for newer cars where the computer needs to set. Ah, I do remember them saying that too. 1993 may or may not have a OBD2 connector, maybe an OBD1 connector. Most code readers are OBD2, but that connector was not standard until 1996. Yeah, I've seen some people say that too. There's a couple of small things that my brother and I have discussed that we think, it could be something super minor and simple, because it was running great when we picked it up. It has been sitting. I do start it, but not all the time, and I literally haven't driven it anywhere since I bought it. So even though I've started it, I don't drive it anywhere. So there's that too. And then my mom said something about she had a car that was doing the same thing, and it was like I don't remember what she said, but it was something super small, maybe like a sensor or something that she had to replace, that it was like super cheap. Spark plugs, that's what it was. She said that she just had to change one spark plug, and that's why. Bad old gas. When I bought the bus, they had said that the gas was old in it, whatever. I drove it pretty much to empty and then filled it up with new gas. And then as far as people freaking out about the heat or whatever, I was someone who actually owns a shop told me to get 10 of them, 6 to 10 of them, and start with 4 and see if that works. So, I mean, I trust him, and I definitely don't think that's really gonna do anything. You got your braids, and yeah, I had my hair up in a ponytail, and I don't really like how I look with those messy buns. So I just braid my hair when I have bad hair days. Laverne said, I wonder if it may have something to do with the hoses you took off. Just a thought. I don't think so, because I've started it. Like I said, I would start it every now and then, and I haven't driven it anywhere. Those connections haven't changed at all, and it just started doing this, and that was, weeks ago. So I don't think it has anything to do with the heater connectors. And as far as the wiring in the bus, I haven't disconnected anything. Everything is still exactly how it was when I bought it, except for the heater. But the heater was already disconnected as far as the wiring goes. And then someone also said something about, like, it could be the back door for safety purposes. The back door buzzes if I turn it on with the back door open. I don't think it's that, because it's never been an issue. It just buzzes really, really loud. Chef Santa Cooking Travel said, I'm waiting to go up to my bus and try to start it. After a year, I know I'm going to have to replace the battery, but I'm hoping that it'll start right up. Mine's a 5.9 diesel. I'll be praying for you. I will also be praying for you too. Hopefully it starts with no problems. Oh man. And then we kept having to jump start it because we were thinking it was the battery. And so we were jump started a few times. And man, it was musical cars. There's a lot of cars here at my mom's right now. My brother's actually taking one of the cars here to my other brother in Texas. He's selling it to him. So that's why they're leaving. So that'll be 2 less cars for a little while, and then 1 less car for now, or for good. But Levi moved his bus over here, and then my brother would have to back out his truck. Levi would have to back out the bus. Then we'd have to move the other car and move it to beside my bus so that we could jump start it. And we had to do that a few times, and like the battery wouldn't stay charged. So now, I turn on the kill switch anytime that I know I'm not going to be starting it, but that seems to be working as far as keeping the battery from draining. So something keeps draining the battery, but that's not why it won't stay on. That's not why it keeps dying. It's a brand new battery. Charles, that is also something my brother suggested doing, and it's probably something that we will do next week, is when I'm really going to start trying to figure it out. Kelly said, does your back door have a lock? If so, it must be locked to start. No, I can start. The bus will start with the back door open. It just buzzes really, really loud. So that's not why it's not starting. Mass airflow sensor. I think the motor sounds like it's suffocating on enough fuel air. I mean, I don't know. We'll find out. We're gonna find out. Ugh. You need to disconnect the switch for the back door. I need to disconnect the whatever it is that buzzes when I have the back door open and the bus is on. That's really annoying. Steven said, what's your ultimate plan once you get on the road? Well, I'm not a planner, as I've always said. I never really truly make plans, like set plans. All I know is once I do get on the road, I want to just go. I'm thinking I'll probably go to Texas if I'm not already there. Hopefully I've been there. So if I'm in Dallas, then my plan would be to probably visit some places in Texas since I'm already there. But then I want to go west. I want to go to Big Bend. Everyone always talks about it. I've never been. Then maybe go up to New Mexico and just kind of hit up every state and just see some things. Okay, I said no, if it's shut and locked, it won't start. Mine doesn't do that. It's literally just buzzes. If it's shut and locked, it doesn't have like it just has the handle that pulls down and then it scoots itself into like the lock system thing. It'll start with the door shut and locked too. Odin's lock said, I rebuilt the carburetor, fixed all the vacuum issues. Turned out it was a worn camshaft abs lifters. Gilbert said, do you have a voltmeter? Yeah, my brother has one, so that's something we're gonna do too. Like I said, I don't have money to put into fixing anything as of right now. So for now, this week, I'm going to focus on continuing the build, and then I'm basically kind of trying to get a game plan of this is what we're going to try in this order, this is how much each thing cost, and just kind of make our way down that list. And then I'm going to basically give myself a limit. Once I hit that limit, if we still haven't figured it out, we're going to a mechanic. So that's basically the plan. What year is the van part of the bus? It's a 93. Jordan and Sage. I feel like that sounds familiar. I may already follow them. Yeah, it's a Chevy motor, 93. Melissa said, so it only runs for just a few minutes and then dies. So many questions. Yeah, it'll start and then it runs. And if I keep my foot on the gas, if I accelerate, it'll stay on. But once you take your foot off, it'll stay on for a couple minutes and then it putters out and dies. The only reason why I'm not taking it to a shop before I start replacing parts, because I'm not doing anything crazy, and all of these things that I'm replacing or cleaning are stuff that probably should be at this point, at this age of vehicle, done already. So it's like if I, put in new spark plugs or new hoses or whatever, like all of this stuff is super old. So that's why I'm not freaking out about replacing stuff. Like the part that we replaced, the that control valve, I forgot what he called it, but that control valve, the old one was like definitely, like you could tell the age. Like it was very, very wonky and bent and stuff. So that's something that wasn't super expensive and it needed to be replaced anyways. Yeah, the idler control valve, like the old one, I should have showed you guys like a comparison. The old one was just so old and beat up, like you could see the difference. So I'm glad that we replaced that, even though it sounded better when we replaced it. So like I said, even though that didn't fix the problem, you could tell the difference in the sound of the engine, like how much stronger it sounded. And it wouldn't die as fast once we replaced that. Sounds like a possible fuel pump issue. Have you checked it? We've considered the fuel pump. We're hoping that that's not it, but that is a possibility for sure that we think it is. We haven't checked the voltage yet. That's something that we discussed doing, but I'm not gonna stress too much about it, like I said, this week. So I haven't tried any of that yet. So that's something that's on the list of things to do. Yeah, a lot of people said an EGR valve, which my brother also mentioned that and something else. Yeah, I definitely don't think the engine shot. Brett, you could also have a bad throttle position sensor. something to think about. What size is the engine? I don't know. These are not questions that I know the answers to. Like, that's why it's nice having my brother, because I am learning, but I'm not someone that, like, if you pointed at something and said and told me how to do it, I'll know for like 2 seconds, and then as soon as it's done, like, I'll forget. Like, I'm very hands-on. Like, I have to physically do it, and for whatever reason, like, I remember so much better that way. So it's like, if you tell me how to change a tire, I'm not gonna know. If you show me how to change a tire, I'll know next time. It's just how I learn. '90s 350s known for fuel filters. Well, we changed the fuel filter. If it stays running with your foot on the gas, your fuel pump is probably okay. Yeah, it won't die as long as it's accelerating. It only dies if I take my foot off of the gas. I learned the same way. I see you sized up your wine glass. Shoot, I wish there was wine in here and some water. I'm trying to drink a gallon of water a day, which hasn't been hard as long as I remember. Like, if I follow the times on here, because like by 8 a.m. you're supposed to drink this much, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, and then it starts over at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so you're supposed to drink 2, and I've been drinking at least 1, and most days I drink 2. Wish it was wine. Not today. Let's see. A lot of people said vacuum leak, but my brother said he doesn't think it sounds like a vacuum leak, which I know it's hard for someone watching a video to really listen to or see what's going on, you know? Sometimes there's low volume pump along the driver's side undercarriage. If you take the fuel line off before the fuel pump, then turn it over and see if the fuel is getting to the pump. That's first. There is no throttle or position sensor on a 93. Hey, Miss Colbier. Alberta said, I couldn't drink half of one, let alone 2. I drink a lot of water. I feel like it makes a difference physically and mentally. I definitely am happier. Like, I'm in a better mental state when I drink a lot of water. Like, water makes a huge difference in your body. Gig worker said, why are you using caps, Charles? James, your weight in ounces. Yeah, my mom told me that. Which I think a gallon of water is more than my weight in ounces. I've had the bus for what? 2 months? And like I said, I haven't driven it anywhere, but I would start it every now and then. So I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that it was technically sitting, because I did start it. See, here's the thing about, no offense to anybody, but here's the thing about people on the internet having so many different opinions on one thing. Because like Roger said, it's dying because the vacuum leak is keeping the carburetor from adjusting right. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, and I don't know if this is true or not, but there's been multiple other people who said that this particular bus or van engine doesn't have a carburetor. So it's like, you know, there's one person telling me it doesn't have a part, and someone else being like, no, that's what the problem is, it's that, and someone else is like, no, bro, there ain't one. So everyone, you know, telling me certain things, it's like, yes, I'm kind of taking them into consideration, but I'm not relying on the comment section on a YouTube video. I'm relying on like my brother and the research we're doing together, and like videos of other people dealing with similar issues, but kind of seeing what they did. And you know, it's been stressful, but more than likely, like if we can't figure it out just doing small things, I'm obviously going to take it to a mechanic, and they know what they're doing. It's just mechanics aren't cheap. I, on the other hand, kind of have to be cheap right now. So it's, you know, do what you can with what you have, basically. And so we're doing our best to try and brainstorm and, you know, change out a few small parts that we're able to. And then, you know, go from there. Let's see. That little rant got me behind. Yeah, you don't know who knows anything or not. No offense to anyone, mechanic or brother help. Yeah, exactly. And like that's the thing too, is like I wish that I could at least just get it to Dallas, because like my best friend, her stepdad knows mechanics that he trusts, and I trust him. So I'd rather have a mechanic that is recommended to me by somebody I trust, versus trying to call up some random person who, for all I know, isn't good at their job and is going to charge me an arm and leg just because I don't know anything, you know? I watched a video today and of, I think, yesterday, of Amora Ventura. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they were talking about mechanical issues and the cost of money that they put into their mechanical issues, and they wound up paying like a lot of money for a mobile mechanic who botched the job, and then they had to pay for the same exact thing to get done for more or less money, or like for at least the same or more money to do the same job that they already paid someone else to do. And that's just not something that I want to do. So that's why I'm kind of like iffy about taking it to a mechanic that I don't know, or I don't know someone who knows them, you know, if that makes sense. Same like Dawn said, girl, just put it in the shop, you'll feel so much better and at peace of mind. But it's like I said, like I wouldn't feel a peace of mind. I wouldn't know if they did a good job or not. I don't know, you know, if they even fixed the problem truly. There's so many people out there that are just not decent people who, you know, will sell you a bad batch of something just to make a buck, you know. It's like someone can tell you that they fixed something when really they just rigged it up. Like, I know how people are. There's people who will sell you a car with the check engine light on, but they know how to turn that check engine light off. So maybe I just have trust issues. Check the auto repair shops through BBB. What's BBB? My guess is it has to do with the fuel injector. You're right. A mechanic in New York tried taking advantage of Morgan. See? And especially since I'm a girl. Like, a girl walks into a shop and, oh, there's a red cardinal. That's so cute. That means good luck, right? It's coming this way. Better Business Bureau. Oh, okay. Yeah. And I guess, I mean, you can look at reviews and stuff, but even then, you don't know if it's them leaving themselves reviews. Taylor said, too bad you're close to here. Tyler, Texas. I have the perfect person. Yeah, I wish I was in Dallas. I wish that I could just get it there. Oh. I wonder if I could drive it to Dallas. Like, my brother's driving there anyways, straight shot to Dallas. If it's dying and stuff, it'll go. It's just if I stop at a light or something, it's gonna die. Which, if I have my brother behind me, he's not gonna freak out. You know, maybe I can get it there. That might be something that I can talk to him about. To a vocational school. I reached out to a school. They haven't responded, and even then, it's like, I don't know, rubs me the wrong way when people don't get back to you like after a few days. Like, that was Monday. Come on now, it's Thursday. Do you check your emails? Nancy said, my husband taught my daughter what to tell the mechanic, so they thought it was coming from someone who knew what they were talking about. I feel like people would still even try to screw you over if given the opportunity. Odin said, a legit shop will show you the problem they found, recommend a solution. You pay for that diagnosis, and then you decide what to do before letting them do anything for actual repairs. My mom's yelling. It might even work itself out when you drive. I've had a few people say that too, that maybe it needs to be driven. Someone told me to drive it like 100 miles and that it might work itself out. Who knows? That would be amazing. But who knows? Shift it into neutral and hit the gas at stops. That's smart. Pretty sure it is. You could hear the vacuum line start sucking in one video, then it starts dying. Well, so we heard that same sound, but my brother said that he doesn't think that that's a vacuum line. Just don't buy a Flex or blinker fluid. Excuse me, sir, do you have any blinker fluid? Two old people said, well, first of all, Ukraine dude said, is the check engine light on? No, the check engine light comes on when it dies, but it doesn't stay on. But I think that's just because it dies. I mean, I watched a video of someone else who he was trying to figure out why his truck kept dying, and all of the lights would come on and then turn back off. So the check engine light doesn't stay on. It just turns on when it dies. Two old people on a couch said red cardinals are visitors from the other side. People you have lost coming to say hi. A cardinal showed up at my mom's the day my dad died. Aw. Maybe it's my grandpa. If it runs good off the idle, check the EGR valve. Laura said, I'm also still calling the vacuum lines. Need checking. Let's see, you poured the fuel treatment in the other day, but have you driven it to get it in the system? I didn't drive it, I just turned it on and revved it up for a while. I'm gonna have to see if my brother will drive it around. But if I can, I really do think that I might try and drive it to Dallas. I didn't even think about that. That's a good mechanic. Have one of the best here in California. Very small Vietnamese shop with a great honest owner. It's normal for the engine light to come on when it dies. Yeah. So the engine light's not necessarily on. The cardinal is the state bird of Indiana. Fun facts. I love fun facts. The make, model, and year is a 2003 GMC Ventura 200 or something. Don't quote me on that. No, just a Ventura. 2000, or did I say 2003? 93. Sometimes I speak words that don't make sense. Yeah, 1993, GMC, Ventura, however you call it, spelled with D, but everyone says Ventura. Yeah. There could be many reasons if it's fuel related. I don't think it's fuel related, to be honest. So far, you've been told it's every part of your engine. Something like that. Helen said we had a fuel injector problem when ours would stop every time we stopped. Yeah, like I said, my mom, she had a car at one point that would stop every time, that would die every time she stopped, and it wound up being just like a sensor that needed to be replaced. Debbie said, what's the next thing you're going to do on the inside? The next thing that I have planned to do on the inside is framing. I'll be framing it out and then insulating and then technically kind of putting the walls up, which I've never seen anyone do it like this, but I'm confident in my plans for the walls. Don't drive to Dallas while it's not raining well. You might get stranded. I mean, it runs fine though. It's just when I stop, it dies. And it's not that long of a drive. And my brother would be with me. So I wouldn't necessarily get stranded. Technically. My bus might get stranded. Let's see. Someone said you dated Steve Harvey. I'm pretty sure Steve Harvey's married, but I do love Family Feud. Vacuum leak. Sorry, these comments are just so, like, all over the place. When you remove the air cleaner, it's always going to sound like they're sucking, like it's sucking air to an untrained ear. When we had, in that video too, which you guys, I don't think I showed, when I started it and it died on camera, we had the front part of the air filter thing where it goes out. I guess, would that be the exhaust? Yeah, on the air filter, the front part was off, so the air filter wasn't even covered completely. So I don't know if that makes a difference, but I don't know. Isaiah said, did your solar arrive yet? It has not. It's been weeks. Like, it's taking forever. I ordered everything that I needed to install it and everything, and like, it's still not here. Come on, Rena-G. Get it together. See, and that's another thing. Like, I probably wouldn't have been able to. That's another thing. I can't go to Dallas. My solar's coming in the mail. I could always come back for it. I am getting a solar generator that would power everything that I need in here. But I don't know when my solar's gonna get here. It's kind of frustrating. That's a good idea. Take it to a Chevy forum. Did it run okay before you changed the battery? Yeah, it ran fine before I changed the battery. Like when I picked it up, like it ran great. Like it sounded super strong. It sounded amazing. And then drove it 3 hours. It drove like a champ. I filled it up, filled the tank with gas. There's about half a tank in there right now, a little more than that. And I parked it at my mom's. It's been parked here. I haven't driven it since then, but I start it often. But there was when I went to Mexico, no one started it at all, and that was over a week. So there's that. Did you knock out an oil change yet? Yeah, we did an oil change. I don't know what color the oil was, because I didn't do it. Ukraine dude said you really, really want to go to Dallas. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I want to go to Dallas, and I do. I really do. And there's a lot of reasons for that. A number of factors. Can your brother adjust the timing on the bus for you? Probably. Chance said, Steve Harvey's easily the funniest host on Family Feud has ever had. I have only ever watched Family Feud with Steve Harvey on there. Each engine has its particular issues. Yeah, and especially with something that's at this age and at this mileage, this is like when things start to go wrong, which I knew when I bought the bus that, there were definitely going to be stuff I had to fix. That's just inevitable. Does it have a computer? I think it does have a computer. That's actually underneath the driver's seat. If it's only 10 miles. I mean, I am going to see if my brother will drive it. I'll sit in here with him, but I'm not going to... I don't want to drive it. Has your brother taken off the distributor cap and inspected it for corrosion? I am not sure everything that he did. I wasn't like over his shoulder the whole time because I was doing other stuff too. So I'm not sure. Fuel filter. We changed the fuel filter. George Gooden did a $20 super sticker. Oh, thank you so much, George. Johnny B. Good said the battery has nothing to do with it running. The battery only starts the engine, allows you to run the lights, etc. The battery that was in there it looked like it was pretty old. It was probably about time to get a new one. There was no date on it. So I needed to get a new battery anyways. That one had to be jump started every time. And like I said earlier, if you missed it, there is a kill switch. And so I make sure to turn the kill switch so it doesn't drain this battery. And so if I turn the kill switch, it starts every time. So I just make sure and I do that, especially if it's gonna sit here and I'm not driving it every day. Johnny B. Good said, have you pulled a spark plug out to look at it? I haven't. I don't know that my brother did or not. That was something we were talking about. Cindy said, can AutoZone check the engine for free with a DX coder? Yeah, you can go to AutoZone or O'Reilly and they can scan it and see if anything comes up. I just haven't driven it. I don't want to drive it by myself. and it died just because I have anxiety. But I'm gonna have my brother drive it around, and then probably take it to O'Reilly's and have them scan it and see what they say. Wickershire Project said, Jillian, I can be there in 1 hour tomorrow. Cracks fingers. Tons of things can rip through, clean, and test for. It's not free, but I'm sure you have coffee for me. There's always coffee around these parts. Michelle said, what is the locket you wear, if you don't mind me asking? So this necklace I wear every single day, and I have not taken it off since the day that I got it. It is a little pendant. The front is a fingerprint for, it's my best friend's fingerprint, and she, my best friend Crystal, she passed away of ovarian cancer in late 2019, and on the back it says Friends Forever, and her parents actually got this necklace for me, my friend Bridget, and my friend Jessica, and we were all best friends growing up, and so yeah, they got us all 3 matching necklaces, and that's why I wear it. It's always keeps me with her, or her with me. Yeah, we did the oil filter, not the fuel filter. That's right. Steph said our son's bus died in front of our house. They spent 30 minutes on the phone with the company. They told him to get out and reclose the door, and it started up, reconnect the emergency hatch on the roof. So I disconnected the emergency hatch. That's the only thing I've disconnected, actually. Or was it already disconnected? I don't remember. But I don't know if that would have anything to do with it. JM's Homestead said, howdy from South Texas. Justin Davis did a $5 super chat, said, you're in good hands, every person on YouTube live chats as a mechanic. And there's also some really good comedians in here too. So thanks. It just needs to be driven. I mean, that's possibly the easiest fix, if that's the case. Lawnmower man of the future. Debbie said, Jelena, have you seen Tiny House Living? This couple bought a 1979 19-foot tiny trailer. It is so interesting. It is teal. I have not. Laverne said, do you still stay in contact with Dawn? She's really coming along with her box truck. I do. I actually watch her videos, but speaking of Dawn, we were actually texting last night. I do keep in touch with her. We catch up every now and then. We don't necessarily talk every day, but we do keep in contact with each other and check up on one another. She's doing great with her box truck. I'm almost a little jealous of how square it is. Not gonna lie. If the check engine light is not staying on, then it didn't throw a code and will waste your time to go to AutoZone. That makes sense. Paul Honeyman did a 5-pound super sticker, said keep it up. Thank you, Paul. One of my amazing moderators. PCV valve, George. That's what my brother, I think, said he wants to do next. Is that he told me to look it up, research it, and let him know what I think. Not that what I think is going to change anything, because I don't know what I'm doing here. Do any of us really know what we're doing here? Let's see. David said, good evening, wishing you all the best. Thank you, David. Nancy said, always trust your gut. It doesn't let you down. True that. Which I've kind of been fighting my gut a little bit lately. We'll see how it goes. Steph said they have kill switches in the newer bus computers. This bus does have a kill switch. I don't know if in the computer. George Gooden said, talk to Samantha about getting her van running. Her van's running. It's her fan that's broken. Annette said, ask YouTuber Scotty Kilmer. He has good advice. So, funny thing, a few people have been like, hello, there's other YouTubers that are mechanics in your area. Why don't you reach out to them? Like this person or this person. Someone even said Goon Squad. And it's so funny to me. And I get why people do that and like say that, but that's just not really like the way that it works. Someone told me, I think that guy Scott, and I looked up his channel and he has like 4 million subscribers. I have nothing to bring to the table unless I'm going to pay him to do the job. There's nothing for me to bring to the table. If you are trying to collaborate with another YouTuber, collaborate with someone who has around the same amount of subscribers as you, or if they have a lot more, you have to have something to bring to the table too. It's like I told my mom, that's like her opening a business. My mom opening a business, and it becomes wildly successful. And then I come in and I'm like, look, I want you to sell my product for me so that I can benefit from it, but I have nothing to offer you. Let's collaborate. Like that's what it would be like if I were to go to email someone with 4 million subscribers, be like, hey, let's collab, my bus ain't working, you're a mechanic, fix it. Like, if they reached out to me, that's totally different. But I would feel like it would be disrespectful to reach out for collaboration with someone that's way bigger than me, you know? That's just how I feel personally. Let's see. And also, like, Goon Squad they're not mechanics. Like, they fish and stuff. Could have to do taking out the heater. I mean, I honestly don't think it had to anything, or it has to do with the fact that we took out the heater. It hasn't been doing this until recently. You can determine if it's a PCV valve by unplugging the valve and temporarily unplugging the hose. Screenshot that. I'll save that for later. We are all learning through you. You're doing great. Thank you, Melody. I am also learning through y'all and other YouTubers and random internet Google searches. Georgia Peach did a $100 super chat to help with the bus repair. You got this, child. Thank you so much. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you. Georgia Peach just bought me the coffee. KHR said, not true. Mechanics love to teach you and show others. Don't think of it as an exchange. I get that, and I do trust that. And like I said, like if he were to reach out to me, I'd be all for it. But I would feel like I'm being disrespectful by asking him to do something for me and not either one, have the means to pay him, or two, have anything to bring to the table to offer in exchange for him doing me a solid, even if it's just teaching me. Like, that's someone taking time out of their life and their job and, you know, to go help some random person, which is, I'm not saying people don't do that, like, out of the kindness of their heart. I just wouldn't feel comfortable asking, you know? John said, Scotty Kilmer is a millionaire. There's nothing you can bring to the table, but he's a nice guy. He'd probably get a kick out of it. You know, and if I was a millionaire and I loved a YouTube channel and they were having issues, I would go help them. But I'm sure that this guy does not watch this channel. And so there's a good chance that he doesn't know I exist. So, I mean, I don't know. It's, to me, I've been on YouTube long enough and I've dealt with a lot of YouTube drama to stay in my own lane. Like, I would feel like that's disrespectful to anyone that's, you know, a huge channel for someone, a small channel like me, to reach out and be like, hey, I know you have like millions of subscribers and probably have a lot of stuff going on, but can you come out of your way to help me figure out something that I have no money to offer you? Or, you know, I'm sure anyone that watches my channel probably watches your channel. KHR said, asking for help isn't like throwing in the towel. I'm not saying that it's like throwing in the towel. Like, I'm not afraid to ask for help, like, whatsoever. But, like, that's why, you know, I asked my brother, hey, can you help me try and figure this stuff out? As much as I am enjoying learning everything and, like, basically doing the build on my own and stuff, I know I don't know anything about mechanics. So I'm definitely going to ask for help when it comes to mechanics. How long did the bus sit without running before you bought it? I don't think that it sat really before I bought it, because the people I bought it from a school. The lady actually worked at the school that I bought it from. So it was being used, but she said once they hit like a certain amount of miles, they sell them, and she wanted it, so she bought it, and they were actually going to convert it into a bagel breakfast thing, coffee shop. And I don't remember why she said that they wound up not doing it, but so they were like working on it and driving it around. So I don't think it ever really sat until I bought it. And not that it's, like I said, I would start it, but I didn't drive it. I haven't driven it since I've had it. That was like 2 months ago. Laverne said, this kind of stuff can make a body nuts. Laugh out loud. Billy said, can you do a lot of help if you let him just for coffee? I think Paul, I'm pretty sure that the Wickershire project is joking. He likes to joke a lot, and I'm just assuming that he's kidding. Nomadic Diesel said, the best videos to watch are Will It Run on various channels. They first check for spark, then check the fuel system, then rebuild the carb, they check for vacuum leaks, then further. Screenshot that. But I think the next thing that we're going to do as far as the engine goes is my brother's going to check the spark. We just haven't done it yet, because like I said, you know, we check it or whatever, and if we need something, I don't have the money to buy it right now, so I'm gonna wait until I get paid, so that way I, you know, can get it figured out. Lawnmower Man of the Future said, I'd do it for free for subs. See, and it's like, you know, if someone comes to me and they're like, look, I know I can help you, and I know that I'm going to get exposure for helping you, I'll do it for free. That makes sense. You're helping me, and I'm helping you, you know? Wendy said, are you going to do any acrylic projects in the future for the bus? I'm sure that there will be some, but it's probably anything like that I'll probably wind up doing with my friend Bridget, who I lived with last year. Early last year, I moved in with her, and she does like resin projects and resin work, and she's phenomenal. So if I do anything like that, then it'll be stuff that I do with her, but I'd probably film some of it. Wickershire said, I've broken down 3 car engines in my lifetime. Subaru, GMC, all fixed. Let me get the bus. I'd be more than happy to have you come and help me. But like I said, I don't get paid until like a week from tomorrow. So I get paid on the 21st. Sometimes they come a day late, or you know, sometimes I get paid early, sometimes it's a day late. So once I get paid, then I know that I can buy some parts if we need them. I would be more than happy to have you come help if that's what you want to do. George said, talk to Samantha, she knows what to replace. I don't know that Samantha would necessarily know what's going on with the bus, but she doesn't necessarily have a lot of free time. She's back at work, and I know that she is having to deal with her own mechanical issues, and I'm sure she's super stressed out about that, and I get it. I would be too. Self-retired said, I felt like that. Great attitude to have, but what's the worst that can happen? He'll say no and you're in the same place. What's the best thing that'll happen? Nothing changes if we stay the same. I mean, I agree, and like I'm totally for, like, you know, what's the worst that could happen? Someone says no. But to me, it's also about trying to be respectful. USA said, let's all go to his channel and ask Scott to reach out to Jillian and offer her help. Hey, kudos to you if you do that and it works. You can ask for suggestions instead of them coming to help you. It could put you in the right direction. It's true. I did think about trying to go through his videos and see if he even had any videos that were similar to what I'm dealing with right now, and kind of looking through those comments and possibly commenting on there and asking for advice. I just haven't done that yet. Self-retired said, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I agree, 100%. Accident said, have you posted on any Facebook groups? Lots of mechanics on those. No, I haven't even thought about going and joining any Facebook groups for that, but that is a good idea. Facebook groups are awesome like that. KHR said, ask a junkyard. They might be able to help. They're awesome. True, I didn't think about that either. I think there's one fairly close to here. Isaiah Wood said, why not drive it around the block a few times with the engine under load and see what happens? I'm planning on doing that. Probably, what's today? My brother leaves on the 19th, so I'll probably have my brother do that tomorrow. It's actually supposed to rain and storm all week long. Yay. But, good thing is, I'll be working on the inside of the bus, framing, and I guess, I wonder if I should drive it. I gotta go pick up more 2x2s, and so I'm wondering if I could drive it to, like, Lowe's and have my brother follow me in case it doesn't start when I come back. But I feel like I could make it there. It would probably just die every time I hit the light. And if I go to Lowe's, I only have to stop twice before I get into the parking lot, unless the light's green. Is it a Chevy? Yeah, it's a GMC. It's a Chevy. Sometimes this is easy to overlook, but did it run out of gas? Is there very little in it? No, it has half a tank, a little over half a tank. Did you ever get in touch with Scott Adams? Is that another giant YouTuber? Because some people suggested I reach out to these people, and I looked them up, and I was like, whoa. Roger said, did this just start to happen after changing the battery? Thought you changed the battery because of this. No, this just started to happen. At first I thought it was just like something wrong with the battery because the battery would be dead, and so we would jump start it and it would start up every time. Okay, actually here's what happened. That happened and we had to jump start it, and I was like, okay, well I'm gonna leave it on and running we're gonna run to Home Depot and grab some stuff. So me and Levi, I left it on. My other brother was here working on his car. I left it on. We left to go to Home Depot, and then it died while we were gone. So my brother turned it off and took the key out. So I tried to start it again when I got back, and it wouldn't start. So we jump started it again, and then it died again. And so it kept doing that over and over. So we got a new battery. So now it doesn't die as fast. And then when we changed out that the idler valve, it ran even longer, but it still keeps dying. So that's when it started, and that's what we did. Joan said, just a thought, it's been sitting. There could be condensation in the gas tank. So that's why I used that heat. David Wilkes told me, he's the one that told me to do the heat stuff to see if it's because maybe there's a little bit of water in the gas, which that's supposed to take it out. Cher said, you're doing fantastic. I would do a basic tune-up, fuel, spark plugs, could be the alternator, have your brother take it for a drive. Yeah, I suggested the alternator after watching Jax Austin's video. Maybe it needs like the higher voltage alternator, but we'll see. Hank said, are you going to put a futon in the bus? I'm actually going to build a bed frame, and I already have my bed. I got an 8-inch memory foam full-size mattress. I don't think I would ever want to sleep on a futon again. I did that. I've been there, done that. Not in a bus or car or van, but not that it would fit in a car. But I think my first apartment I had a futon, and it was very uncomfortable. But that was for my couch and guests. Elvin Scene said, let me give you some more details. I am a certified master technician, licensed state and emissions inspector. I believe that those repairs that I suggested should be done as maintain item. I don't know that I saw your comment. If you would like to comment again. How come that a mechanic can't just come over and get it running for free if you're buying the parts, if they're needed changing? So it would be just brilliant to help you out. If any of you guys know a mechanic that likes to work for free, let me know. I'm not gonna ask someone to work for free for me unless they offer their services out of the kindness of their heart. Like I said, I just feel like it's disrespectful to, ask for things without being able to do something in return. Like, even if it's, if Billy wants to come and help me and all he wants is coffee, guess what? I'm gonna give him some coffee. I'll even make it Starbucks if that's what you're into. Does the battery still go dead? So the battery is not going dead, but that's only because I turn the kill switch every time every time I know I'm not going to be messing with it, I turn the kill switch. I know I'm going to try and start it, I turn the kill switch back on. It's running off the battery. Okay, I can change the alternator if that's the problem. I don't know that that's the problem. And an alternator is, from what I looked up, a high voltage alternator could be between, $150 to $200. So that's not quite a cheap fix. The liquid heat, that was done after it was already doing all of this stuff. The Cardinal's back. He's back again. He's just like walking around underneath the cars. Steven said, sometimes a jump start, even if done improperly, even a little, can damage the alternator, which can cause it to die. Well, I watched my brother jump start the car, and we did it properly. I don't think that If it is the alternator, I don't think that's why. Red Corvette said, reach out to the TV show All Girls Garage. They were in Nashville. Interesting. All Girls Garage. Even if they don't respond, that sounds like something I would like to follow. That sounds really cool. See any joggers around? They tried to steal my $2,000 Cadillac that I spent all my money on instead of my teeth. No, there's not a lot of joggers around this neighborhood. Let's see. I like coffee, but that wouldn't help much. Ukraine dude said, how much are you willing to pay to fix it? Well, I don't know how much it's going to cost to fix it. And honestly, I'm going to have to pay whatever it costs to fix it. So, I don't know. Elvin said, I'll help you for just a thank you. That's very generous of you. You Love Ashley said, Chris Fix just posted a YouTube video about battery issues. I'll screenshot that and watch it. Accident said, did you replace any of the coolant that was lost when removing the heaters? Yes, did that. Elvin said, I'll tell your brother what to do if he's mechanically inclined. He's mechanically inclined. There's just like a lot of people think it's the fuel pump. My mom thinks it's probably the fuel pump. And my brother is just hoping that it's not the fuel pump because we don't want to get under there and have to lower the tank and do what it takes to change the fuel pump. So Sophie said, what is back to Cardinal as in the red bird? Yes. I don't know if you can hear my mom in the background, but she said, it's so pretty today. I don't know if you guys can hear them yelling. They're not yelling at each other, but they're just talking loud. If you get 13 plus volts while running, the alternator is good. We haven't checked the voltage yet, but we're planning to. Shay said, the alternator is expensive. If you bring in the old one, I believe, if I believe right, you can get a little off your new alternator. I used to work for an auto parts store, so I was just learning. Good to know. The EGR valve. I've had a few people mention that. That's something that we might wind up replacing. Jacoby said, I'd start drinking by now. Like alcohol because of stress. A cold beer does sound pretty good right now. Sam Rooney said, if you make it to Dallas, I'd be happy to help once you get here. I'm also looking into doing a bus build. Awesome. I appreciate it. It's quite the adventure. Let's see. James Clark said Craigslist for a mobile mechanic. I haven't heard great things about mobile mechanics, so I'm kind of iffy. And like I said earlier, like I would much rather go to a mechanic that someone I trusts, or a mechanic that I trust. Battery voltage should be between 13.6 and 14.1 when the engine is running, question mark. Did you mean to put a question mark? I'm assuming that you did not. Ukraine dude said, go with twisted tea. I do like twisted teas. They make you feel nice, and they're a good self-defense. Barbara, that sounds nice. Odin said the alternator is not putting out the 13 volts, then it'll run off the battery and slowly fade until it dies, and then need a jump start again. That's what it sounds like it was doing with the first battery. But since then, I've been turning the kill switch. Jacoby, glad you caught that. Alvin said, drive it to Pennsylvania with your brother and we will get her done. Laugh out loud. Pennsylvania, where is that? Isn't that northeast? USA girl said, Steph, my husband had the same issue as the O2 sensor. That's what my mom said. She had something doing this vehicle in the past that did the same thing, and hers was the O2 sensor. She just had to replace that, and it was totally fine. So it's like that's stuff that I want to replace that are not crazy before I try and take it to a mechanic. Roger said, since the battery goes dead when just sitting, if not for the kill switch, it's a short somewhere. Hopefully we find out. Ellen said, if the alternator was doing that at a light, it would be flickering or on the dashboard. Steph said, O2 sensors cause awful idle issues. Process of elimination. That's basically what me and my brother are trying to do, is process of elimination. I would say, yes, your geography is terrible. Is it though? Is it northeast? Then is it terrible? Susan did a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Susan. The bus thanks you. Wolfpack Homestead said, you had me laughing when you said, where is Pennsylvania? Is that north? Is it not? Y'all are about to make me have to check my Google Maps. I tell you, I know where like Texas is, California, Florida, all the main ones, Washington, Oregon. I don't know where anything up past Tennessee, nothing. There's what? Maine, New Jersey, New York. I don't know where any of them are. I know where Michigan is. Anyways, we're getting off topic here. If you replace 5 things for $25 piece and none of them are right, then you are already at $125. But with a vehicle this old, I'm sure everything that I replaced probably needed to be replaced or would need to be replaced very, very soon. James said, can you give it gas and keep it running? As long as it's accelerated, it won't die. Justin said, where is she located? Georgia. I don't know if you're referring to me or someone else, but I am in Nashville, Tennessee. And apparently there's some people messaging me on Instagram. I just don't, since I read my comments from my phone, I don't really check my social media other than this while I'm live. Shay said, if the alternator wasn't working, I believe the engine wouldn't turn over at all, if I remember right. Wolfpack Homestead said, don't come to New Jersey, it sucks. Pennsylvania is directly west from New York City. Roger said the battery should not go dead just sitting. There is a short. Brenda said it's the starter or the alternator. And someone else said it's not the alternator. See, everyone has their own opinions. I'm not saying anyone's wrong. I'm just saying a lot of people are contradicting each other. Sam Rooney said, what rivers do you plan on floating when you get to Texas? I don't know what river we're floating, if I'm being 100% honest. I just know we'll be in New Braunfels. I don't know what river's there. See, Barbara said if you have to give it gas to keep it started, then it's the alternator. Steph's a TPS sensor. My brother said that too. And the EGR valve. You know what? That's a great idea. I could totally do an access hole to the fuel pump before I finish the floor. Good idea. Brazos. Maybe. I've been to New Braunfels. I've never floated a river though. This will be my first time. Jacoby said, I think it's the blinker fluid. You should check that. See, Jacoby sounds like someone who would sell you something that's already broken. Does it have an idler control valve? We actually just replaced the idler control valve, which it did look like it needed replaced, and the old one was super wonky. It definitely looked beat up. It was kind of crooked, and like that little spring was like super stretched and crooked, and it definitely sounded like it ran better once we changed that out. You'll probably be floating the Guadalupe. It goes right through town. I have no idea. I just know it's going to be fun. Justin said it's not the EGR. It is possibly the throttle position sensor or dirty idler control valve. So my brother said something about the throttle position sensor, and then we already did the idler control valve. Just keep your foot on the throttle all the time. Hacks, life hacks. Joey said, no, I sell it to ice. I sell ice to Eskimos. Sounds about right. Sam said, make sure to wear goggles and Crocs in off-road mode when you float. You'll make tons of friends. I probably won't be wearing goggles. And what shoes am I going to wear? I have water shoes. I don't know where they're at. Oh, I bought those Kivas. That's probably what I'll wear. The Frio River is relaxing. I've never floated the Frio Eloy, but I've been there. I've stayed in some pretty nice Airbnb houses there. Or actually, I don't know if they're Airbnb, but they're houses you can rent. The trolls are out tonight. Barbara said the fuel pump is not the problem, it's the alternator. I found that out the hard way taking my car to the auto parts place 3 times. They replaced the battery 3 times. A friend of mine replaced something. Easy check to see if it's the alternator, a volt meter. Yeah, we're gonna do the volt thing. And if it happens that that's it, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Does it have an in-tank fuel pump, as they sometimes have a filter on them before the pump? I don't know the answer to that question. Moderators, I trust you, and if you feel like someone needs to be completely blocked from the channel, feel free to block them. Elvin said, after the new information today, I'm thinking that it might be the idle circuit in the carburetor, as it's probably sitting, and gasoline in the circuit probably gelled up, restricting flow to the circuit. A can of carb cleaner will fix that. My brother did say something about that, so we're definitely going to try that too. Let's see. BS, I read your comment. I'll try that, or I'll tell my brother about it. Maybe power draining in the wire harness. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't touched any of the wiring since I bought the bus, except for the emergency hatch I disconnected, and I disconnected the heater. Well, it scared me. I saw something black in the corner, and I didn't know what it was, but it was the school bus stickers that I took off the bus, and I threw it inside. Jacoby said, go to Tractor Supply and get an inner tube for floating the river. I actually bought an inner tube from Academy here in Nashville, and it's a Texas tube. So I thought that was cool that they're selling Texas tubes everywhere, like not just in Texas. I'm really glad that I have some moderators on here tonight, because that was a lot of stuff going on. Don't you have a voltmeter on the dash? I think so, but I think he wanted to get like the exact amount. But the battery should not go dead when it's just sitting. Whether the short is the problem with it running is another question, but the battery should not go dead when it's sitting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up. Your filter will be at the front of the passenger side back wheel. My brother knows where it's at, and if I didn't even think about cutting a hole from the top. That's a great idea. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever had this much troll action before. Charles said, I messaged Dave Wilkes to give you some ideas. I've actually been in communication with him. He's been kind of walking me through stuff and giving me some advice. So shout out to him. I appreciate it. My Jeep had a power drain, and it turned out to be a wire in the harness. And I don't know where that comment just went, but I am lost. Oh. It's old. With age, wires can go bad. True. Academy's off. Barbara said, Academy is awesome. I bought a pool just before I moved to Louisiana last year. Wish I could have brought it here. Would have helped with my dementia. Debbie said, Jaylena, did your windows stay dry? I always like to give spoilers in my live chat, so I will tell you guys that yes, all the I sprayed both sides down really good with some water, and so far none of the windows have leaked. So I'll show that in, I don't know about my next video. I'll show that in a future video soon. But yeah, they all got sprayed down really good and haven't leaked at all from where they were leaking. So that's good stuff. Dawn said, that's because Texas is the bomb. It really is. I mean, there's just no argument there. If it goes dead from sitting, it might have an electrical drain. Disconnect the battery, negative post, and put a test light between the cable and the post, and the bat post. Okay, I screenshotted that. Justin said, is it a 93? I missed the year. If it's a 93, it doesn't have a carburetor. People must be drunk in here. See, I literally had someone say, like, it doesn't have a carburetor. Yes, it is a 93. And then someone else was like, no, that's what is wrong with it. USA girl said, Jaylena, apparently you've triggered some folks. I can see that. There's a draw somewhere, and they're very, very time consuming. I'm trying to find out where it is in their videos on how to do that. It's supposed to rain, right? I don't understand why it's been raining so much. It's frustrating. I mean, at least I'll be working on the inside of the bus and, you know, doing the frames and stuff, but even still, like, that means I have to cut in the bus, which isn't a big deal. I'm just cutting 2x2s. But that means I have to go to Lowe's tomorrow because the next day it's going to rain. And I don't want to be trying to do that in the rain. So I'm going to go to Lowe's tomorrow, pick up some stuff. Shout out to Cold Beer Ranch, because without them, I wouldn't have the financial means to go pick up some more 2x2s. 2x2s are almost $6 a piece right now. That's crazy. EY said, this is the first time I'm listening to a live in real time, and these troll comments are insane. WTF. I don't usually get a ton of trolls. I do every now and then, but they usually aren't out. Like, it looks like it's pretty much just one person. I saw maybe two, but this one person is just like coming in hot. Roger said, could you have moved some wires when removing the heater? There was only one wire, and it was the one that was connected to the heater. So I don't think it's any of the electrical. Because the only things, the heater was already disconnected. The people I bought a bus from disconnected the heater wire. And then the only thing I disconnected was the emergency hatch. Baked Alaska has unfortunately sent his troll army to this wholesome stream. He must be stopped. He has a federal agent. I don't know if like that person's a troll. Van Life Voyages. Hey Jelena and everybody. Hey. Neon Catfish said, check the pressure of the gas line and how long it holds that pressure. Will do. Scott said, I love your bus. I need one. Do you have any other way for donations? Aside from super chats, I have a PayPal and a Cash App link. And those are usually linked in my description. Sam Rooney said Habitat for Humanity Restore should have a random shipment of wood or something. Yeah, I definitely want to go look at the habitats. I've never been to one here in the Nashville area. I've been to every single one in the Dallas area, and you could definitely find some really good steals at Habitat for Humanity. Roger said you have a short somewhere if the battery line is going dead. Isaiah Woodsman said, rain is frustrating. I have been trying to replace my oil pan gasket for a month. Every time I do, it rains. Maybe that's a sign. Also, was the thing in the roof that you removed and it fell to the floor, was it wired? It could be making some wires stitched together. It was wired. I'm looking at the wire right now. I don't think it's that. None of the wires are like crazy. It was just two wires, and they weren't touching, and they're not touching now. I'm not a troll, just a good Samaritan. Well, I feel like this chat has been getting out of hand. So, Paul Smith said, do you have air conditioning? I don't have air conditioning right now, but I will have AC in the future. This is insane. Start the vehicle, disconnect the battery if it dies. Yeah, I think someone said that too. Donnie said, do you have a power converter? Do you have a power converter? It is. Jacoby said, go with a mini split for heating and air. I'm going to have a mini split, but I'm going to also have a diesel heater and a max air fan. The only reason, if I'm being really honest, the only reason I'm doing a mini split, not that it's not great, I probably wouldn't front the money for it personally. I got sponsored. So that's why I'll have a mini split, which is going to be amazing. But had it not be for the sponsorship, I mean, I may have gone it down the road. It just wouldn't have been something that I would do right now. All right, you guys, I'm going to call it a day. I've been on for like almost a little over an hour and a half. I do appreciate all the advice. And appreciate you guys just coming in and hanging out with me. Hopefully we get this thing. No, we will. I'm going to put that out there. We will get her up and running. It's going to be great. And it's not going to be anything crazy. It's just going to take some time. And we'll get it figured out. In the meantime, send me all the good vibes because I'm going to need them. But I'm not going to be working on the engine or anything else for at least another week. So from this point on, and especially since it's raining anyways, I'm going to be working on the inside. And I'm going to get this framed and insulated. And I'm probably going to do that, cut a hole in the floor so I can access the fuel pump easier. So I will see you guys tomorrow because I'm posting every day this month. So far, so good, even if it's live chat. But hopefully tomorrow I can get the roof sanded and painted. Clean, sanded, and painted so that I don't have to worry about that next week when it's raining and I can't do it. But thank you guys for hanging out, and I'll see you next time. Sorry about the trolls.